In comics, there is a constant need to one-up everything. For an industry that survives off of covers that read, "You won't believe what happens in this issue," there comes a point when you can actually reasonably believe what happens in this issue. Like, I don't actually believe that Superman's gonna make Jimmy Olsen marry an ape. There's only so much power a writer has over these characters. Let's take Dick Grayson Batman, for example. Was this one of the most interesting and inventive times for Batman? Yes. Was this ever gonna last forever? Nope. Same thing with this whole DC 5G phone plan announcement or whatever the heck they're doing. Apparently Luke Fox is gonna become the new Batman, which means that he's gonna take over the cowl for 12 issues while there's a story in the background about Bruce Wayne learning to become the Batman again until he takes over the cowl and Luke gets pushed away until a one-panel cameo in an event 5 years from now. Bruce Wayne sells comics, so even when he dies in a comic, there is no reasonable way to assume he'll stay dead forever. Even Barry Allen, who stayed dead for over a quarter of a century, came back from the dead. So it's not just writing a story that you need to take into account, you also have to consider editing and publishing. DC editing will do whatever it can to turn your story about mental illness into a murder mystery with over-sexualized heroines. Oh wait, that actually happened. Take the whole Batman number 50 debacle. This was really just the turning point in Tom King's run, but DC hyped it up like it was this massive landmark issue where the two get married. There were tie-ins, there were variant covers, and unless I didn't read it properly, no one got married in this issue. Wow, thanks DC. Every single comic has to be the biggest, end-of-the-world issue that everything's been building towards since insert some arbitrary date here. Has everything really been building towards Event Leviathan? Because I feel like it was just a few titles written by the same guy who wrote the event. I mean, you have an event like Crisis on Infinite Earths. How the hell do you top Infinite? Well, how about instead of Infinite Earths, it's Infinite Crises? Alright, wait, but how do you top Infinite Crisis? Well, this will be the final crisis. Well, what happens after the final crisis? Converge! Okay, that one doesn't count. But what I'm getting at is there are two opposing forces in comics. There's the sales-driven need to up the ante in these stories, while writers aren't allowed to make significant changes to the status quo in fear of losing sales. So how do you make the largest stakes story of all time without having anything new happen? You just change something that used to happen. Boom. Hey guys, don't forget to like, share. Well, we're not quite done yet. But all you have to do is introduce some new big bad and say, this is who's really secretly been, insert hero names here, Arch-Nemesis all along. Let's look at Batman. Now, Batman has a lot of villains you could argue are his arch-nemesis. The Joker is his opposite, order versus chaos. Bane is Batman's equal. They're both incredibly physically strong and tactically minded. Hush is Batman's childhood friend turned bitter enemy. He attacks Batman's allies and the one he loves most, Catwoman. The Penguin is a dark mirror of Bruce Wayne. What if Batman used his money for crime instead? Two-Face is Batman's personas hyperbolized with a fixation on justice. Kite Man is Kite Man. Basically any of these guys could be Batman's greatest nemesis. But actually, it's secretly been Simon Hurt all this time. But secretly, it's been his long-lost brother, Thomas Wayne Jr. But secretly, it's the mother. The reason these guys are big deals are because editorial says these guys are big deals. Why does it matter who the Arkham Knight's identity is? Because editorial tells you it's a big deal. Why does it matter who Leviathan is? Because editorial tells you it's a big deal. But there is a chance in introducing these apparently long-lost characters to actually tell a great story, to create a villain of immediate status that rivals our hero. So today we're looking at two long-lost arch-enemies. One introduced well and one, not so much. So let's put them to the test. Today we're talking about Rogol Zaar and Raptor. Let's take a look at Raptor. You know, Nightwing doesn't really have a set-in-stone arch-nemesis. Deathstroke comes kinda close, but he's more of a Teen Titans villain. Then who do you got? Blockbuster? He's kinda lame. There was Jason Todd for like 2 seconds, but that's really it. So right at the start of Tim Seeley's Nightwing run, he introduces Raptor, and honestly, I think it works great as a rival to Nightwing. He wasn't hyped up as this super mysterious figure from Nightwing's past. He's just a guy named Raptor, and he and Dick formed a bond. You see, Batman never really worked as this perfect mentor to Dick, because Bruce and Dick are very different people. That's why Dick left to become Nightwing in the first place. But Raptor is a mentor that actually thinks the same way Dick thinks. Together, the two take down the Parliament of Owls, only for Dick to learn that instead of turning the Parliament over to the authorities, Raptor actually contracted other assassins to kill them off. Raptor tries to make Dick understand his side, until Nightwing stands strong in his stance that he'll never kill. This leads to Raptor kidnapping and attempting to kill Bruce Wayne to show Dick how Bruce corrupted his vision. Eventually, Raptor would be defeated, but not before he learned his connection to Dick. You see, Raptor and Dick's mother used to be friends. When no one would give Raptor the medicine he needed because he couldn't afford it, he and Dick's mom stole the medicine from the rich, including anything else they wanted. He secretly watched his mother, protecting her in the shadows like a Severus Snape type of character. In fact, Raptor was there the night Dick's parents died, and now he wants to train Dick to grow up in the warped image of how he sees Mary Grayson. So why does Raptor work? What makes him a good villain? Well, first off, he doesn't change anything about Nightwing's past. It's not like we knew one thing and then he comes in and says, nah, that never happened. Instead, Raptor is in addition to the rest of Nightwing's origin. It's not like he's the one who killed off Nightwing's parents, or he's actually secretly Nightwing's father in disguise. He's just someone who used to know one of Dick's parents. But what about Rogol Zaar? So in Man of Steel by Brian Michael Bendis, Rogol Zaar shows up to Earth and is like, woo, time to destroy Kandor, I hate Kryptonians, I'm so fucking crazy. He's basically racist Doomsday. Right out of the gate, he shows up and is like, you know how Krypton died from the government ignoring environmental changes? Something that Superman's father, Jor-El, specifically warned against, but fell on deaf ears? You know how it's super relevant to today and serves as a great warning sign of what will happen if we stop caring about the environment? Yeah, well, none of that happened. I'm actually the guy who killed Krypton. What? So I guess all those books I read about the history of Krypton were just a waste of time then? Or this book is a waste of time. Yeah, that's actually more likely. Instead of introducing Rogol as a character first, like they did with Raptor, Rogol's entire character is, I'm the guy who killed Krypton. There's basically no substance to him. His design is straight out of the 90s, and that's not a compliment. And why does he hate Kryptonians? We have no idea. His story literally ended before we even figured out why he hates Kryptonians so much. He shows up, kills the bottled city of Kandor, and then sticks around for like 20 more issues. And the fact that you don't know why he does what he does is because that wasn't in anyone's mind when they designed the story. Rogol Zaar exists as a plot device. Hey guys, check out this brand new big bad that's responsible for the death of all Krypton. Also, he destroys Kandor. Also, he might kill Superman. We don't know. We just wanted him to do some impactful shit because Superman was just too busy having phenomenal characterization with his son for like 40 issues. And who wants to read any of that? Basically, it's just annoying that comics always have to be about the next big event. It feels like none of it matters at times. When someone says, oh, Dick Grayson's becoming Rick Grayson, I'm like, great. Either this isn't true, and it's all just clickbait to sell comics, or it's gonna suck so much it gets retconned within the next 6 months. And a Rick Grayson update, yeah, whole thing's getting retconned. He never got amnesia from being shot in the head. Oh, I hate this book. But some writers have made this whole long-lost Arch-Nemesis thing work. You can introduce characters that feel important and add depth to these characters' lore. But when the idea starts out about how we can use this to sell comics, more often than not, it's gonna be a disaster. Hey guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at InfinityIncon1. Let me know how you guys feel about Rogol or Raptor in the comments below. See you guys next time.